In this lesson, we're going to make a vignette, and we're going to do it in a way to where it's completely adjustable. We've got a picture of a couple here, and we'd like to put our vignette on its own layer. So in the bottom of the Layers panel, I'm going to click on the New Layer button. And then I'll go up and double-click on the name Layer 1 and give this a name, like Vignette. There we go. Now the way this works is very simple. I'm going to go over here to the toolbox and choose my elliptical marquee tool and just draw an oval. Now it doesn't really matter at this point if the oval's perfect because we can adjust it after we're finished. Now what I want to do here is fill this area outside the oval with white. So what I need to do here is change this selection to make it the opposite, so the background area here is selected instead of the inside part. So I'm going to go to the Select menu at the top of the screen and choose Inverse. There we go. Next, under the Edit menu, I'm going to choose Fill, and up here for Contents, I'm going to use white as my color. And then click OK. Alright, so I've got the basis of my vignette. The next step is to make this a little bit blurry. So I'm going to need to deselect this. So I'll go to the Select menu at the top of the screen and choose Deselect. Now, under Filter, I'm going to go down to Blur and choose Gaussian Blur. And I'll just take this little slider here and adjust this until we get a nice amount of blurriness. That's a little too much. I think that looks nice right there. So I'll click OK. The final step is to adjust this. I'm going to go to the Edit menu at the top of the screen and go down to Free Transform. So I can go in here and make some adjustments. There, that's looking pretty nice just like that. So I'll press Enter on my keyboard to apply that. Now you'll notice by doing that I've left some areas here on the edges that aren't covered up anymore. Well, that's not a problem. I'll just go under here, get my rectangular selection tool, make a rectangular selection, go under Edit to Fill, fill that. We'll do the same thing down here, Edit, Fill, and there we go. And finally I'll deselect it. Because really all we're doing here is making a white mask to go on top of the picture. Nice thing about this is we've still got access to the entire picture, so we could print it out either way, with or without the vignette. And once we've got this vignette finished, if we wanted to apply this to a different picture, it's just as easy as dragging this layer onto another picture. Let me show you. I'm going to go under my File menu and go in here and just pick another picture. We'll just get one at random here. How about this one? So I'm going to grab my vignette project and drag it off to the side and just take this layer, drag it on top of the other picture. Now it's in there. Now in this case we'll need to scale it. So I'll go under the Edit menu to Free Transform. Do my scaling and press Enter. Now typically if you use the same camera to take all your pictures, your vignette's going to fit all your pictures perfectly. But it's really easy to reuse this. So let me close this and bring our couple back up here. And let me show you one other thing you can use that's similar to this technique. So I'm going to throw away this vignette layer and make a new blank layer, and we're going to get a nice artsy border around this next. So I'm going to go to my paintbrush tool, and in the brushes palette, if you scroll down towards the bottom, there's some pretty nice artistic brushes. I'm going to use my bracket button here to make this bigger. And I'm going to go up here in the options bar and reduce the opacity of this down to around 30%. I'm just going to paint around the edge here. Oops. It's really impossible to mess up. I'm just going to go around this a couple times, just kind of painting around here. Then I'll make the brush a little bit smaller, increase the opacity, and go around the edges again. There, you can see how this is kind of building up now. And then finally just take a couple last swipes around the outside edges to make sure that it's completely white around the edge. And you can go through here and kind of touch this up. Using these artistic brushes in Photoshop, you can make your own nice artistic borders that are unique to you, that nobody else can have access to. And also it saves you some money too, so you don't have to purchase these from a third-party vendor. So now that I've got my little border made, it's on its own layer, and I could use that on other pictures as well. So I'd encourage you to experiment with this, because these artistic brushes in Photoshop really offer a lot of opportunities for you. So go give it a try.